I wound up in and out of juvenile homes for boys, and then, of course, in and out of adult correctional facilities for men, right? In that moment, I lost my mother because of her grief and her trauma. She began to self-medicate with drugs and alcohol. And then she dealt a lot of years with dual diagnosis and still suffers from that today. In that moment, I lost my innocence, right? At 8 years old, I